Okay, students, in the previous class we were discussing about the mock paper 1, CET mock paper 1 in biology, and we have discussed 35 questions here. So we are going to discuss the remaining questions from 36th questions to question to 60th question. And we have also told you, like we have already given a message to you that if you have any doubts regarding any of these questions, you can drop your doubts in the comment box while you are watching the video, or you can also send your doubts to WhatsApp number to the respective lecturers, right? So look at the 36th question here. A stable community is. See, in the chapter of biodiversity, Paul Ehrlich and also David Tillman. Paul Ehrlich actually conducted an experiment regarding the how an ecosystem can be stable only when all species are there present in that particular ecosystem. If any one species in the ecosystem get extinct, then it is going to affect on other species also. Whereas David Tillman conducted an experiment with two different fields. In one of the fields, he grew only one species of the grass, and in the other agricultural field, he grew around 6 to 20 different species of agricultural grass. Right? So he could see the sustainability of the ecosystem, a great sustainability of the ecosystem in the field which was consisting of 20 different species of grasses. Andre, ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಸ್ಪೀಶೀಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ there will be, of course there will be competition, but these species they are independent on each other, right? They depend on each other and there exists a kind of symbiotic relationship, and that is how a stable community will be formed. And while explaining about the stable community, he has also given certain strategies or certain rules or maybe certain criteria for to be a stable community there. What are those criteria? See, a stable community should be one thing whose productivity should not change largely year by year. ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಇದೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರಿಗೂ ಅದೇ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಅದೇ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ದ stable community should be resistant and resilient to invasive alien species, right? So if any new species has been introduced into this habitat from a different habitat, then the species of this habitat must be able to tolerate the effect by that alien species, right? Alien species introduce ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ native species extinct ಆಗಬಾರದು, right? So extinct ಆಗದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ then it is called a stable community, right? And what is the other one? It should be resistant to the disturbances caused within the ecosystem or maybe from outside the ecosystem, right? So answer is what? Stable communities does not show much variation in its productivity year to year, resistant and resilient to disturbances and invasion of alien species. So this one is the answer here, right? The next question. The enzyme amino acyl synthetase facilitates. See, amino acyl synthetase ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಿ. See, you have learnt about the process of translation. Translation ಆಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ of course there are three steps, major steps: initiation, elongation and termination. Initiation step ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? See, a tRNA molecule is responsible for carrying one amino acid, right? ಒಂದು ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದು it will bind to the mRNA. mRNA ಏನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? It will provide the codons, whereas the tRNA will be having the anticodons, right? Codons ಮತ್ತು anticodons, they are complementary to each other, and based on what codon, what anticodon the tRNA is carrying, ಅದರ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಆಗಿ, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ AUG ಕೋಡಾನ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಆಗಿ ಎಗೆ ಯು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಯುಗೆ ಎ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂಡ್ ಜಿಗೆ ಸಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ UAC ಕೋಡಾನ್ ಆಂಟಿಕೋಡಾನ್ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು tRNA ಇದ್ರೆ, UAC ಆಂಟಿಕೋಡಾನ್ ಇರುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು tRNA ಇದ್ರೆ, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ವಿಚ್ ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್? Obviously methionine, because UAC is complementary to AUG. AUG codes for methionine. ಹಾಗೆ ಮೆಥಿಯೋನಿನ್ ಬಂದು ಆ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ tRNA ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ದ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ tRNA, ಆರ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಅಮೈನೋ ಅಸೈಲೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ tRNA. What it is called? Amino acylation of tRNA. During that process, this enzyme will act there, so it is called as amino acyl synthetase, right? So answer is what? Adoption of amino acid by a tRNA molecule of its type. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದು ಅಮೈನೋ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಯಾವುದು tRNA ಗೆ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಿಲ್ಲ. There is also specificity because of the codon and anticodon interaction there that you have already learned in the process of translation in detail. 38th question, moving on to the next question. Kinetochore is the region. See, kinetochore, where it comes, you have studied about the chromosome, right? So you know two different strands of chromosome attached at one particular point, or you can say two different strands of the chromosome, two different chromatids of the chromosome attached at one common point called as centromere anta kariteve, right? And that centromere will be surrounded by a proteinaceous disc-like covering, and this disc-like covering will help in holding the what fibrils, right? So during the cell division activity, the fibrils are held together or attached together at this point called kinetochore. So these fibrils are what is that? Spindle fibers. So they are going to attach to this disc-like proteinaceous structure, and that is what is called as kinetochore. Kinetochore, what is the function of kinetochore? Kinetochore will hold the chromosomes in position during the cell division activity, during the various phases of cell division. ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ಪ್ರೋಫೇಸ್, ಮೆಟಾಫೇಸ್, ಅನಾಫೇಸ್, ಟೆಲೋಫೇಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ the chromosomes will move. Metaphase ಇದ್ದಾಗ all of them are arranged at the center of the cell, forming the metaphase plate or equatorial plate, right? Whereas anaphase ಬಂದಾಗ they will tend to move towards the opposite poles, right? So ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, for the chromosomes to attach and to align themselves inside the cell, this kinetochore will help. Spindle fiber ಅನ್ನು ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಜೊತೆಗೆ it will help the chromosomes to get aligned in a particular position. So answer is what? Spindle fibers attached to the chromosomes during the cell division. That is the answer. Next one, monosomy and trisomy can be represented as. See, what is monosomy? See, if you know what is karyotype. Karyotype is the study of the structure of the chromosomes arranged according to their structure or according to their pairs. Homologous pair of chromosomes anna ನಾವು so according to their sizes anna arrange ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೇವೆ. All 46 chromosomes, that is all 23 pairs of chromosomes are arranged systematically. That is what is called as karyotype, right? So in the karyotype, if you see in some cases, especially in the genetic diseases, there may be one chromosome extra sometimes, or sometimes one chromosome may be less, right? So ಒಂದು ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ 2n is what? The diploid condition of the chromosomes in a cell. 2n minus 1 ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಆಯ್ತು. That means it is called monosomy ಅಂತ ಆಯ್ತು, right? Trisomy means in one of the pairs ಒಂದು ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಇದೆ. ಮೊನೋಸೋಮಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಪೇರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ. That means only one chromosome is there ಅಂತ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಲ್ವಾ? That is called monosomy. Trisomy means one of the pairs in the karyotype will have an extra pair of the chromosome. In the previous class, we have discussed the 21st trisomy causing the Down syndrome. Under 21st pair nalli ಒಂದು extra chromosome ಬರುತ್ತೆ. That means in that pair, you can see 3 chromosomes there. So 2n minus 1 means what? It is called 2n minus 1 is monosomy, 2n plus 1 is trisomy. Which example can you give for 2n plus 1? That is Down syndrome that we have already considered in the previous class. Whereas for 2n minus 1, you can give the example of Turner's syndrome. So here what happens on the 45th chromosome, there is only one X chromosome, XO, right? O anta helidre one X chromosome has been deleted. Because of which the female individual suffering with this particular syndrome will have sterility. So many different secondary sexual characteristics ಅಥವಾ menstrual cycle ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು. So all these processes will be halted. So that means not periodically, they will not be taking place according to the periodic thing, right? So this is one thing. The next one, 40th question. What will be the correct gene expression pathway? It is a very simple question if you have understood all the processes like replication ಆದ ನಂತರ transcription ಆದ ನಂತರ translation, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಓದಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ not a big deal at all. Just you need to understand the central dogma of molecular biology, which explains that DNA will get replicated That is one of the basic characteristics of this molecule, DNA. So transcription of the DNA takes place. That means whereas one of the strands of the DNA will act as the complementary strand to produce the RNA molecule, and this RNA molecule, what happens? It will be having the codons, and it translates into proteins during the process of translation. So this is the simple process of central dogma of molecular biology, though it involves various complex procedures. Right? The answer is gene transcription. Gene means it is present on the DNA. It will undergo transcription. If they had given the example of replication, then you could have considered that. Illi replication mention madilla, so you can consider transcription. Then transcription adantre ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? mRNA ಬಂತು, translation, and then protein comes. So answer is third one. Next question, 41st one. The technology of biogas production was developed in India mainly due to the efforts of. See, in India, there were two organizations that helped the biogas production in a large scale, right? And which are those organizations? They are asking. IARI and IRRI. So IARI means what? Indian Agricultural Research Organization. Or IRRI means International Rice Research Institute. ಅದು ಫಿಲಿಪೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ. ಯಾವುದು? IRRI. ಫಿಲಿಪೈನ್ಸ್ ಅವರು ಬಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಡಿಯಾಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗುದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ this option is wrong. Here, see, IARI we have already seen. KVIC means Khadi and Village Industries Commission ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಸೊ ಖಾದಿ ಗ್ರಾಮೋದ್ಯೋಗ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಇದರ ಅಂಡರ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಕೂಡ Indian organizations ಇದೆ. So whereas here IISc is there, Indian Institute of Science, right? So here IARI once again, and IRRI and KVIC. So IRRI ಅಂತೂ ಇರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಚಾನ್ಸೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. Option is what? It's a very simple and straight question from the textbook. IARI and KVIC are the two options. I mean, that is the option. Second one is the right option here, right? 42nd one. Adaptive radiation refers to. See, you have learnt in the evolution chapter, adaptive radiation anta helidre, it is nothing but evolution of different species originating from one common point. Because these species, they tend to migrate to different areas or different geographical locations, and they develop different characteristics according to the external conditions of that particular habitat. Yav example kaltidiri? You have learnt two examples. One is the Darwin's finches, and other example that you have learnt is Australian marsupials, right? So that means you have understood this process of adaptive radiation, and option is this one: evolution of different species in a given geographical area starting from a common point and radiate to other areas of geography. So this example, see the process of evolution, the same thing. I have actually the definition here. You can read the definition here, and see, this is the example. Just as example, I have put this picture here: marsupial radiation, adaptive radiation of marsupials, right? So originating from one common point, though they are all marsupials, and they have been adapted to various environmental conditions, and they have developed their external or internal features, maybe external morphology or internal physiology, according to the environmental conditions where they exist or survive, right? Going to the 43rd question. Assertion, there are two statements, assertion and reason. The assertion statement says that in a food chain, members of successive higher levels are fewer in number. Andre ಒಂದು ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಕ್ಸೆಷನ್ ಇಂದ ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಇಂದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಹೋಗಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇರುವ ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಇರುವ ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ದ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಲೆಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ದ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಆರ್ಗಾನಿಸಮ್ಸ್, I am reading the reason statement. The number of organisms at any trophic level depends upon the availability of organisms which serves as food at the lower level. Yes, so number of organisms at any trophic level depends upon the availability of the organisms which serves as food at the lower level. Yes or no? Always an organism present in the higher trophic level will depend for its food on the organism which is present at the lower trophic level, right? So the number of organisms present in the higher trophic level will definitely depend upon the number of the organisms which are available as food, that is in the lower trophic level. Hagadre answer yavadu? Both assertion and reason are the true statements, but reason is not appropriate. Reason is actually not appropriate with the assertion. ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಈ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಇದು ರೀಸನ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಚೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಒನ್ ಆಸ್ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ರೀಸನ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ explanation for assertion here. Next, going for the 44th question. So you just have to match the biochemical processes with their sites. ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, right? These are all the physiological or biochemical processes taking place in the body of living organism, maybe in the plant body or maybe in the animal body. So whenever you understand the physiology of the organisms, you also need to know where exactly the process, the physiological process is taking place. Right? So it is regarding that particular aspect. Krebs cycle, where it is exactly taking place. Krebs cycle that is taking place during the process of respiration, right? So TCA cycle anta karitivi, tricarboxylic acid cycle anta karitivi. The Krebs cycle takes place where? In the stroma, in the matrix of the mitochondria. That means in the matrix of the mitochondria, Krebs cycle takes place. Glycolysis, it is an obligatory process taking place in all the organisms, irrespective whether the organism is undergoing the aerobic respiration or anaerobic respiration. ನೋಡಿ, ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏರೋಬಿಕ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್, ಅನರೋಬಿಕ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಷನ್ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಎನಿ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ಪಾತ್ವೇ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್, ಎನರೋಬಿಕ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಏರೋಬಿಕ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರಿ ಪಾತ್ವೇ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಎರಡಕ್ಕೂ ಮೊದಲು ಯಾವುದೇ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ಗಾನಿಸಮ್ ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಗ್ಲೈಕೋಲೈಸಿಸ್ ಆಗಲೇಬೇಕು. ಅಂಡ್ ಗ್ಲೈಕೋಲೈಸಿಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೈಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸೆಲ್. No matter whether it is a prokaryotic cell or eukaryotic cell, right? It has to take place obligately, and that takes place in the cytoplasm or cytosol, right? Right. Kelvin cycle. Kelvin cycle, where does it occur? During the process of photosynthesis. Maybe it is a C3 plant or maybe it is a C4 plant. Yerudu plant alli kuda Kelvin cycle agbekalva, right? And where does it take place? In the chloroplast. Where in the chloroplast? On the membrane of thylakoid or membrane on the or on the membrane of the stroma lamella? No. This accounts for the dark reaction. Kelvin cycle takes place. So here it is taking place in the stroma of the chloroplast. Yes. So here option yaudu? A matches with K, right? Here this is the second one is the option, correct option. A matches with K, mitochondrial matrix. Glycolysis is taking place in the cytoplasm. B matches with L and C matches with I, stroma of the chloroplast. 45th one. Which of the following conditions correctly describes the manner of determining the sex in the given example? So this is regarding the sex determination, right? You have learned sex determination basically in human beings and also in grasshopper, in some birds. Different examples you have learned briefly in the chapter of principles of inheritance, right? Let us read the options here. XO type of sex determines male sex in the grasshopper. Okay, XO condition in humans as found in Klinefelter syndrome determines female sex. Homozygous sex chromosomes XX determines male in Drosophila. Homozygous sex chromosomes ZZ determines female in birds. See, let us look at the explanation here. In grasshopper, XO is the male and XX is the female. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ? XO type of sex determines the male sex in grasshopper. ಇಲ್ಲಿ grasshopper XO is a male and XX is female. Yes. So in the case of male, there is only one X chromosome. There is an absence of the other chromosome. Y chromosome irudilla ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು X chromosome ಕೂಡ ಇರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. So there is only a single X chromosome that determines the male sex in grasshopper. So this statement can be considered correct. Let us also analyze the other statements here. So Klinefelter syndrome is caused due to 47 chromosome. So 47th chromosome nalli trisomy irutte XXX, right? So they are telling you ಇಲ್ಲಿ deletion of ಒಂದು chromosome ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, XO ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು chromosome delete ಆಗಿದೆ. So which does not match with the symptom of this one, Klinefelter syndrome ಅಲ್ಲ ಅದು. So the second statement is wrong. So in Drosophila and in human beings, so ಎರಡು ಕಡೆ ಸೇಮ್, ಡ್ರೋಸೋಫಿಲಾ ಮತ್ತು ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಎರಡು X ಇತ್ತು, XX ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ that determines the female, whereas XY ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ that determines the male. Whereas in many birds, female has a pair of, ಇಲ್ಲಿ pair ಆಗಬೇಕಿದು, has a pair of dissimilar chromosomes ZW and male has two similar chromosomes. Usually in all different organisms ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, especially in human beings and Drosophila largely, so XX ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಫಿಮೇಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಡಿಸ್ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಕ್ರೋಮೋಸೋಮ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಮೇಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ಸಮ್ ಬರ್ಡ್ಸ್ what happens here? So dissimilarity refers to female, right, whereas similarity refers to male, right? So answer is what? The first one, right? 46th one, a scrubber in the exhaust of a chemical industrial plant removes. See, you have learnt about two different answer is one, of course, it removes the gases like sulfur dioxide. Nodi, not to get confused between the scrubber and electrostatic precipitator. ಸೊ ಎರಡನ್ನೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಸ್ಕ್ರಬ್ಬರ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ದ ಗ್ಯಾಸಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಸಲ್ಫರ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ರಿಮೂವ್ಡ್, ವೆರ್ ಆಸ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಸ್ಟಾಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಪಿಟೇಟರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಅ ಕ್ಲೌಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಥ್ರೂ ವಿಚ್ ದ ಡಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಮೂವ್ಡ್, and those dust particles they get negatively charged. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲೇಟ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ಲಿ collection plates ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, they are grounded plates. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ these are positively charged plates, ಇಲ್ಲಿ negatively charged dust particles ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, they get stuck onto it and pure air or clean air comes out, right? So this is different. Illi this will remove the particle size of 2.5 ppm size varege particles ಅನ್ನು separate ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ capacity ಇದಕ್ಕಿರುತ್ತೆ, right? About 95% of the particulate matter from the contaminated gas can be removed by this one, right? Whereas this will remove the gases like sulfur dioxide. Going to the next question, which of the following cannot be represented in the floral formula? See, you need to be aware of the floral formula and floral diagram of the families that you have learnt at the end of the morphology in flowering plants chapter. 3 families you have learnt: Solanaceae, Liliaceae and yes, Fabaceae, right? So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಫ್ಲೋರಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ of course the placentation is the answer. I have taken one representative example here. Here what does this symbol represent? Percentage symbol represents the zygomorphic symbol. Zygomorphic symbol ಬದಲು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಬರಬಹುದು, ಒಂದು ಸರ್ಕಲ್ ಬಂದು ಒಳಗಡೆ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಬರಬಹುದು, that represents the actinomorphic symbol. That means the symmetry of the flower can be represented by floral formula, whereas male and female, that means the sex of the flower, or you can say the presence of sex organs, whether it is staminate flower or it is pistillate flower or it is bisexual flower anta now illi represent madlike agutte. That is one thing. Then calyx, whether they are fused, how many sepals are there, whether they are fused or they are free, that is one thing. And corolla, how they have been arranged, that means so there will be one large petal. This is actually representing the floral formula of Fabaceae family, and here you can see 1 plus 2 plus 2, and this 2 is fused. So here also you can mention corolla-dalli ಎಷ್ಟು petals ಇದೆ and how they have been arranged, whether they are fused or free ಅಂತ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Androecium, how many stamens are there, whether they are fused or they are free, whether they are epipetalous or they are epiphyllous, right? ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ. And even the gynoecium, whether the what is that, carpels are fused or free, how many carpels are there, whether it is superior ovary or inferior ovary, all these things we can take an account. But one thing that we cannot take into account is placentation. Whereas placentation, can that be expressed with the help of a floral diagram? Think of it. Definitely we can represent the placentation with the help of floral diagram. Yes. Now next one, 48th question. MTP is practiced mainly to get rid of unwanted pregnancies due to the failure of contraception or during the rapes. Right? So when coitus happens, when sexual intercourse happens, unwanted sexual intercourse happens, or during the rapes, so in order to remove the unwanted fetus growing in the womb of the mother, so this MTP can be followed, right? MTP means what? Medical termination of pregnancy. See, this can be a crime if it is followed to remove unwanted babies. If you don't want a baby, if it is a male or female, gender basis mele adana ನಾವು remove ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ it becomes illegal, right? So in order to overcome the problems with the MTP, Government of India has legalized the MTP in the year 1971 with a set of restrictions. ವಿತ್ ಅ ಸೆಟ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ MTPಯನ್ನು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಅನ್ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಸೆಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ದ coitus, that is unwanted coitus during the rapes and all, so that can be followed, right? And sometimes even pregnancy adre, if the pregnancy continues, it may be hazardous to the baby as well as the mother. In such cases also pregnancy can be terminated by following MTP. Yes. 49th question, select the false statement from the below. So let us read the statement. The entire sequence of communities that successively change in a given area is called seer. Seer ಅಥವಾ serial stage ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. That means you might have got an idea by now. We are talking about ecological succession, right? There are two different types of ecological succession that we have basically learned. One is hydroseer and other is xeroseer. Hydroseer ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ xeroseer ಆಗಿರಬಹುದು. See, hydroseer refers to what? It starts from an aquatic climatic condition and it goes up to the mesic condition. There are different types: hydric, mesic and xeric anta. Xeric means dry condition, mesic means it is neither too dry nor too wet, hydric means wet conditions, right? So coming back to this one, the entire sequence of communities that successively change in a given area, they are called as seers or seral stages. This is correct statement. Predictable change in the species composition of a given area is called as ecological succession. This is the statement that is actually defining what is ecological succession. They are the predictable changes that are taking place in a given habitat or in a given area with respect to species composition. That is what is called as ecological succession. Hydrarch succession takes place in wetter areas, correct? No? Yes, it is correct. And progress from hydric to mesic condition, yes or no? Hydrarch succession takes place in wetter areas and progress from mesic to hydric condition. Definitely not. Answer is this one. That means this is the false statement of these. Inta questions idre, these three statements are correct and this can be an informative question for you. So you have to take into these into account like these questions. 50th question. Select the DNA sequence which would act as a restriction site. Now the restriction sites are those which can be restriction site and recognition sequence. These are the sites which can be recognized by particular enzymes called restriction or restriction enzymes. Endonuclease irbodu, exonuclease irbodu, right? So those enzymes, they are not going to identify or they are not going to bind to any sequence on the DNA molecule, but specifically on a particular sequence. And those specific sequence identified by these restriction enzymes are always a particular typical type of sequences called as palindromic nucleotide sequences. Palindromic nucleotide sequence andre enu anta niಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬಹುದು, right? So when you read it from 5 prime to 3 prime, one strand, the other strand you are going to read it in the same direction, again 5 prime to 3 prime, you read the same thing, right? So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ AAA, AACCGG. Will you read the same thing here in the 5 prime to 3 prime, 5 prime to 3 prime? Are you reading the same thing? Then it is not a palindromic nucleotide sequence. Here GG, TT, GG, right? Again you are not reading the same thing. It is not a palindromic nucleotide sequence. AAGGCT, AGCCTT, not CTGCAG, CTGCAG. So this one, fourth option is the correct option because that is the palindromic nucleotide sequence that can be a restriction sequence here. 51st one, the population of an insect species shows an explosive increase in number during a rainy season and it will be followed by its disappearance at the end of the season. Andre, rapid increase in the population of an insect takes place and at one point after the season there is no there are no species of the insect to be seen here. That means rapid increase ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ all the favorable conditions must be there and there must be no disturbances there. So when any population of a species, when a population of any species so increases rapidly without experiencing any disturbance, what kind of curve can you expect? J-shaped curve or sigmoid shaped curve? There are two curves you have studied, there are two patterns of the population growth we have studied, right? So it is obviously J-shaped curve here. You can look at this diagram. So here J-shaped curve, right? Population growth curve when responses are not limiting. Yavade disturbances illa, alliruvantaha resources yavadu limiting illa. So abundance of resources are there. So that is why it is called exponential growth anta kariteve, right? Whereas the other one is sigmoid growth curve anta kariteve. So in this case the resources are limited, right? That is why the population density, it keeps on growing along with time until a particular limit, and it becomes stagnant in this case. Whereas this keeps on growing, but after a particular time immediately it will stop. That is what is called as J-shaped curve. 52nd one, read the different components from 1 to 4 in the list given below and tell the correct order of the components with reference to their arrangement from outer side to inner side in a woody dicot stem. So this means this is a question regarding the dicot stem and secondary growth in the dicot stem, right? See, what can be the answer here? Now, nodona. Secondary cortex, wood, secondary phloem, phellum are the four options that have been given. ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವಂತಹ 1 to 4 ಏನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ 1 to 4 ಕಾಂಪೋನೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದು ಹೊರಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ಟು ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಆರ್ಡರ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಔಟರ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ one will be what? So it can be phellum ಅಥವಾ ಕಾರ್ಕ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ. ಫೆಲ್ಲಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಕಾರ್ಕ್. ಸೊ ಫೆಲ್ಲಮ್ ಅಥವಾ ಕಾರ್ಕ್ಗೆ ಜನರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು ಯಾವುದು, ಅದನ್ನು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು ಯಾವುದು? ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಫೆಲ್ಲೋಜನ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾರ್ಕೇಂಬಿಯಂ. ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಅದು? ಈಸ್ ಇಟ್ ದೇರ್? ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ನಾಟ್ ದೇರ್. ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟು ದಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ವಾಟ್? ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಕಾರ್ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಫೆಲ್ಲೋಡರ್ಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೇವೆ, ರೈಟ್? ದೆನ್ what next comes here? Then secondary phloem or wood. Wood refers to what? Xylem. That is a mature xylem. Secondary xylem is also called as wood anta kariteve, right? So secondary phloem horgade irutta ಅಥವಾ xylem horgade irutta? Obviously phloem. So ringing experiment ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, girdling experiment ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. When you cut the surface of the stem, you are only going to remove the phloem, not the xylem. That means innermost will be wood. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ sequence ಏನಿರಬಹುದು? 4 1 3 and 2. 4 1 3 2 ಯಾವುದರಲ್ಲಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ? 4 1 3 2 is the first one, is the correct option. So just for your reference I have put this diagram here. You can see actually there are two different types of secondary growth in the dicot stem. One is intrastellar anta kariteve and the other is extrastellar anta kariteve. In this question is regarding the extrastellar secondary growth. ಅಂದ್ರೆ intrastellar secondary growth ಆದ ನಂತರ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಕಾರ್ಕ್ ಕೇಂಬಿಯಂ ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, and that ಕಾರ್ಕ್ ಕೇಂಬಿಯಂ will give rise to the cork outside and secondary cortex inside. Cork cambium is also called as phellogen. You can look at this one. Illi cork cambium or phellogen anta kariteve, right? This is the cork cambium, the blue line which you are seeing, the blue circle, that is the cork cambium or phellogen, and outside that is nothing but the cork, right? And inside will be phelloderm, right? So phelloderm is also called as a secondary cortex, it is called as, right? So here inside what you are seeing, these are called as medullary rays. Medullary rays are produced during the intrastellar secondary growth, right? Not to get confused between the intrastellar and extrastellar secondary growth. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. So next question, going for the next one, that is the 53rd one. Montreal Protocol aims at. Montreal Protocol, see, let us look at the details here. Montreal Protocol was signed at Montreal. It is a place called Montreal in Canada in the year 1987, and it was effective from 1989 to control the emission of ozone depleting substances. Which are the ozone depleting substances? They are nothing but the methane or usually the greenhouse gases. CFC irbodu, methane irbodu, alva, carbon monoxide irbodu, carbon dioxide irbodu. They are nothing but the ozone depleting substances here, right? So obviously answer is reduction of ozone depleting substances. 54th one, in hormone action, if receptor molecules are removed from the target organ, the target organ will continue to respond to hormones, yes or no? No. Not respond to hormone, continue to respond but requires higher concentration, continue to respond but in opposite way. Which can be the option here? Option is second one here. It will not respond to hormone. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಹಾರ್ಮೋನ್ ರಿಸೆಪ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ they are must and should required there. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ there is a complex that is formed called hormone receptor complex ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೇವೆ, right? So hormone receptor complex formation ಆಗೋದು it is very important for any hormonal action to take place, right? You have studied two different types. This is one thing. Membrane ಮೇಲಿರುವಂತಹ ರಿಸೆಪ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಇರಬಹುದು, membrane receptors ಇರಬಹುದು, or sometimes nuclear receptors ಇರಬಹುದು, right? In this case receptor hormone complex is formed within the nucleus, right? And the hormone that is present, that can be a steroid hormone in this case, whereas in this case the hormone that is present can be a proteinaceous hormone. It is going to form the hormone receptor complex at the membrane site itself, whereas here within the nucleus. Andre for any kind of hormone action, either it can be nuclear receptor or it can be the membrane receptor. In both cases it is very important to form the hormone receptor complex. Hagagi answer yavadagutte ಇಲ್ಲಿ? If the hormone receptor complex is not formed, if the receptor is absent, then there is no response of the hormone, right? So going to the next question here, 55th one, you have to recognize these diagrams, recognize the figure and find out the correct matching. So ಇದು ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. It is directly from the biomolecules chapter. So this can be the secondary protein and this can be the tertiary protein, right? Secondary structure of the protein, tertiary structure of the protein, right? Primary structure, how it will be just a straight string of the protein molecule. So primary structure of the protein is mostly an inactive or non-functional molecule of the protein, right? Gottidli. 56th question, what is true with reference to amoeboid movement in WBCs, in white blood corpuscles? Amoeboid movement ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. It is affected by pseudopodia formed by the streaming protoplasm like in amoeba. First one, cytoskeletal elements like microfilaments are also involved in such movement. Both the statements are true, only statement 1 is true. ಯಾವ್ದಿರಬಹುದು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ? The answer is what? Both statements are true. Amoeboid movement ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ pseudopodia like structures are formed by the protoplasm of the cell. That is one thing, and because of the pseudopodia like structures formed by the protoplasm, there is one more action that is taken place by the WBCs called phagocytosis or pinocytosis ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ, engulfing of the foreign particles. That is also taking place because of this pseudopodial movement or amoeboid movement. Alva. And cytoskeletal elements, that means microfilaments, microtubules, basically they are formed by fibrous proteins or tubulin proteins ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೇವೆ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು. So for the movement of the cell, movement of the membranes, so these filaments or fibrous materials or proteins will help. So that is why both the statements 1 and 2 are true. Which of the following is not true about angina pectoris? Angina pectoris is a disorder, circulatory disorder, alva? So, and it is also commonly just called as angina anta matra kuda karitare, alva? So let us see what is true about this angina pectoris, which is not true anta kelidare. Acute chest pain caused due to lack of oxygen supply to heart muscles. Yes. So angina pectoris, is it caused because of this one? Yes. So it is nothing but angina pectoris means what? It is nothing but an acute chest pain caused due to lack of supply of oxygen to the muscles of the heart. This is what is called as angina pectoris. It affects the vessels that supply blood to the heart muscles. Is it true? It occurs due to the conditions that affect the blood flow. Yes or no? Let us see. More commonly seen in middle-aged and elderly people. Answer is this one. Andre, this is not true about this one. About actually, ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಕಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಕೂಡ ಕಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ. ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಅಫೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್, ಬಟ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಬೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ವಿತ್ ದ ಹಿಮೋಗ್ಲೋಬಿನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಮ್ ರೀಸನ್, ರೈಟ್? ಆಸ್ ಎ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವಿಚ್ ದ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಮಸಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಸಪ್ಲೈಡ್ ವಿತ್ ದ proper amount of oxygen, and that is when acute pain originates in the heart. This is the 57th one. Okay, let us look at the 58th question. The movement through xylem is always unidirectional, whereas that through phloem is bidirectional. So they are asking you to find out the correct option which can justify this statement. ಈ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಜಸ್ಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್, ಯಾವುದು ಅಪ್ರೋಪ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಸಿ ದ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಫ್ ಫುಡ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಇನ್ ಬೋತ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಸೈಮಲ್ಟೇನಿಯಸ್ಲಿ. when flow of food takes place in both direction, ಮೇಲಿಂದ ಕೆಳಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಎರಡು ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ, so it will collide with each other and it will not be possible to carry out the process of transportation through phloem. So first option is wrong. The movement of food through phloem cannot be predicted. No, it is wrong. It can be predicted because see, you know, when the photosynthesis takes place, the green parts of the plant are involved in the process and green parts to other non-photosynthetic parts. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಫುಡ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ರೆಡಿಕ್ಟಬಲ್. ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಿಂಕ್, ಸಿ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಿಂಕ್ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಅಂತ ಇದು. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್. ವೈ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಸಿ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸಿಂಕ್, ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಟೂ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಫ್ಲೋಯಮ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸೋರ್ಸ್, ಇಟ್ ಎಂಡ್ಸ್ ಎಟ್ ದ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸಿಂಕ್. ಬಟ್ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ್ದಿರುತ್ತೆ? ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಫೋಟೋಸಿಂಥೆಟಿಕ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್. And the sink will be the other parts, maybe the root or any other non-photosynthetic part. But you know that plants have got certain modifications, maybe the stem modification or root modification under the ground to store the food material, and that stored food material can be coming back, can be flowing back through the phloem to the aerial parts. ಮೊದಲು ಏರಿಯಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿತ್ತು, but now it is going back from the root or underground part of the plant body back to the aerial part, because the food that was stored there, now it will be utilized because of the low rate of photosynthesis, right? That means that is why it can be bidirectional. Ega that stored food part illirutte, that becomes the sink, that becomes the source, and the other part receiving now will become the sink. So that is how the third one is the right option. Source and sink are not variable. This is wrong. 59th one, dead plants such as leaves, bark, flowers and dead remains of animals including fecal matter constitute what? See, in the process of decomposition we have come across various steps there. First thing will be fragmentation, then it will be followed by leaching process. Leaching will be followed by what? It will be followed by humification, mineralization. Like this, various steps are followed. The first step, dead organic material idadana, it may be a dead leaf or any dead remain of the plant body or maybe or any animal. So it has to be cut into small fragments first, and that dead material, it will be called as detritus. The organisms which feed upon that and also carry out the fragmentation of the detritus, they are called as detritivores. Earthworm can be the best example for this. So the example is the answer is here is what? First option, that is detritus. And the last question, the milk of first transgenic cow contained the human which of these proteins? Alpha lactalbumin, beta lactalbumin, gamma lactalbumin, or all of these? Which of these is the correct answer? See, the answer is alpha lactalbumin. See, you know that the first transgenic cow that was produced in the year 1997, it was named as Rosie. The name of this transgenic cow was Rosie, and what was the transgenic characteristic of this was, cows usually produce milk and human beings usually we consume milk of the cow, right? But what is speciality of this milk produced by this transgenic cow was, human mother's milk alli yavudirutte adu alpha lactalbumin, usually cow milk alli alpha lactalbumin irudilla, and that is why the babies which are fed with the cow's milk, especially those babies whose mother cannot feed them due to various reasons, so alli alpha lactalbumin was lacking, and by introducing a gene from the human female into the cow, they made this transgenic cow to produce milk with alpha lactalbumin. That means, so this was a supplementary protein that was produced here in this. So how much? It was 2.4 grams per liter. The milk was enriched with alpha lactalbumin up to 2.4 grams per liter of the protein. And that milk contained human alpha lactalbumin, which is nutritionally more balanced to be fed to the human baby, right? So this is how this is an example, and you also need to remember different examples of transgenic animals here, right? So this is about the first mock paper of CET in biology, right? So we will meet once again in the next paper, and if you have any doubts, you can drop your doubts in the comment box or you can text me. Thank you.